20 years. For 20 years, my husband Odysseus had been gallivanting about on the high seas, and who knew when the fair winds would blow him homeward bound. 20 years, and me, passing time, sitting at my weaver's loom, the lonely queen of Ithaca, and ever faithful wife, waiting for the return of, oh, waiting was what a woman did. Virtue was expected. Chastity was demanded. Of course, the men did as they pleased, offering fabricated excuses for their infidelity. They had been bewitched by a goddess or seduced by a siren sweetly singing. Bah! In the latter years of O's absence, things went from bad to worse. It was presumed that my husband would not be returning, and so I was swarmed with unsuitable suitors, all vying for my hand in marriage, and by marriage become king. Love had nothing to do with their passionate pleading. Indeed, it was like keeping wild dogs at bay. I devised a scheme, a ruse, as it were, to buy time. I told them all that when I had finished weaving my father-in-law's shroud, I would choose a groom to wear the crown. So by day, I would weave with diligence. Come night, I would rip loose the threads and commence anew each morning. It was a most monotonous process. But in the nick of time, the gods intervened. Odysseus returned, disguised as a beggar. He wanted to scope out the political situation before making his presence known, a wise decision for a king who had endured his share of wars and treachery. His disguise did not fool me. His disguise did not fool me. Even after 20 years gone, what wife could look her husband in the eyes and think him a stranger? But I played along, treating him with a detached courtesy befitting of a queen, sharing with him the state of state affairs and my own personal plight with the end of suitors. It is the nature of woman to be artful and wily. I made a decision. One, to forever silence my wooers. I declared a contest, an archery contest, and to the humble beggar man I lent the fine bow of Odysseus, knowing well its position and possession would give him great advantage. And so it was proclaimed, whoever could shoot an arrow through 12 axe handles, I would choose to wed. Of course, I knew well and full that Odysseus, with his mastery and skill, could be the only mortal who could succeed at such a feat. There is a happy ending. Odysseus won the contest, admonished his foes, reclaimed his long vigilant wife, and peace was restored at last to Ithaca. 20 years. For certain, the fates do not always gift us with the kindest path to fulfillment of our destiny. Was the waiting worth it? When Odysseus left, we were but children, eager to know the ways of love, blessed with an early spring of united devotion and desires. But now we have come to know the glory of a late summer and a love that has ripened into fullness beyond measure. The wait was worth it.